What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Gaming with the Broscast.
What's up? Episode number 72. How's it going, everybody? Today is April 25th, 2021. I mean, we're rolling. We're about to hit the month of Resident Evil.
Yeah.
As we coined it.
Exactly. But we can't forget we got 5 days until Pokemon Snap. The sequel to a really awesome N64 game that I didn't think Nintendo would ever make it again, just because it's Nintendo and they some IPs just kind of die. But I still am not 100% convinced. Hopefully they release reviews early within the next couple of days, so we can just kind of see what it's going to look like, what kind of like the what the end game looks like, how long it is, the replayability, all that good stuff. But
the end game.
The end game. But before we jump into all that, my name is Harrison. I'm joined by my brothers Nick, as always.
Hello.
Nick, how was your week?
Week has been pretty good. Work is dude, it's slowed down so much. I guess the only comparison I could make is driving 80 miles on a busy highway.
Yeah.
And then you take an exit and you're going 25 miles and there's no one around. And you're like, well, what do I do now? Do I get back on the highway or do I just keep on cruising? And right now I'm cruising. And
it
was great.
Yeah, that's a good analogy because it's like that feeling. I mean, you're going 70 to 80 on the highway for multiple hours, and then you finally get to your destination and you get off and you're going in your 30s and you feel like you should be going faster, but it feels really good not to have to speed any longer. So
I'm at this like weird transitional period where I feel guilty for getting offline at 5:30 or 5 o'clock, but
same time you earned it.
I mean, that's where I'm. Yeah, like I've kind of put in my time at this point. I mean,
you fought through the struggle, and now you're on the other side, and and it's summertime, like, and that's kind. I guess that's kind of like the best thing. Like you're busy, super busy, for 4 or 5 months, but it's cold outside. Like you're not really doing much outside, and then by the time you get finished, everything's warming up, and you're done hibernating for the winter, and you come out and you could go outside and do a bunch of fun stuff.
Yeah, they coincide pretty well. And for context, I work in external audit, so financial statements go out in March or April, so that period until then is pretty busy. But it's been a good week. Both of us went to our uncle and aunt's final, like, a swan song for their pharmacy. They both owned a pharmacy in Bessemer City, North Carolina, and they're selling it and closing up shop tomorrow. So Monday. Yep. So we went over there and had a party, and a bunch of people showed up, and it was awesome to see some kind of extended family and see the place go. I mean, it's been in the family for what, 40 or 50 years, maybe not that long, but
no, didn't they open it up in like the 60s?
I think our grandfather purchased it or something in the 60s. So yeah, I guess that would be about 80 years or 70 to 80 years at this point.
Yeah, gosh, it's a
long time.
Yeah, about 60 years in the family. That's a long time, and but it was bittersweet. It's they went out on a very, very, very high note, and they're kind of both at that retirement age anyways. So in the way that the world is kind of turning, and you don't see a lot of family owned pharmacies anymore. They've all kind of moved on to Walgreens and CVS and stuff like that. So that's just kind of the way of the world. Everything's kind of getting consolidated, and
unfortunately,
in that aspect. So yeah, definitely went out on a high note, and I'm excited to see what they do with the building itself. Everybody in the room had talked about, just for quick history or whatever, to turn it into like a bar, because like it's in a very small downtown area. It's not like it's a dry area, but there's not a lot of bars around it, so I feel like it would just be a perfect spot. And that way you can kind of let the history of like the actual building itself live on, and turn it into something really cool. I hope they do that, but
That would
we'll
be
see.
awesome.
They don't have any plans in the immediate future just because they're trying to, get everything done and just kind of go on vacation for a little bit, which is definitely
Yeah,
understandable.
kind
Because
of.
I'm sure it's been like hell for like the past 3 or 4 months, but yeah, that would be cool. But yeah, anything else exciting happen this week for you?
Not really. I have a lot of
Take it upstairs because my trash can's full.
yeah, I gotta take it upstairs because the trash can's
All
full.
right, you might be able to. You might here. Put it in there. You might be able to squeeze it in. Right here. Right here. Thanks, buddy. What were you saying?
Uh, I was just saying I've booked a lot of vacation for the next few months.
Yeah.
Pretty excited about going to the beach for a weekend in May, and then me and my fiance Alicia booked a scamper van for June, which is a camper van with a bed in it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take that to Asheville and drive into Tennessee a little bit in June, and then yeah, I think that's it for the next few months. But
Yeah.
got a couple of trips planned that we're looking forward to that we weren't really able to take last year because of COVID, but now
Mhm.
that things are looking up, we're just embracing all of it. I mean, it feels good. But how's your week? How you
It
doing?
was good. I mean, it's kind of a standard week. They or my job had a meeting that we're going to be working from home indefinitely,
Oof.
which is awesome for me. Just having a family and kids and stuff at home. It's been so much easier just being able to be there and having lunch with them and just seeing them all the time, which is awesome.
Mhm.
And not have to drive into work. Granted, it takes me 20-25 minutes to drive into work, which is pretty
It's not bad.
insubstantial, but just
Saves time.
saves time. And then not have to deal with like 5 o'clock traffic, at the end of the day. If I want to get off work and go running or yard work, I'm already there. I don't have to, it's not 6 o'clock before I actually get home and start doing everything, and get settled in. So it's nice to, I've said this before. It's just nice being home all the time. So I think they're going to
Yeah.
let us go to the office at some point next week and just get all of our office supplies that we need, clear out our desks. They're gonna let us take home a couple chairs if we need them, which is cool.
Cheers. I like it.
Because they had just renovated the building that we work in before we moved in, and then like 2 months later, COVID happened and we all got sent home. So it was kind of a bummer, I guess, for the company. They spent all that money to renovate, but for me,
Yeah.
it's whatever. But but yeah, super excited about that. And then next weekend, it's my son's 4th birthday party. So today, after we got back from our trip or whatever, we went over to Party City and I dropped like $100 on party supplies for Mario themed stuff. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, we're pretty excited to get that started. I think it's gonna be really cool. Get everything.
Did he specifically request Mario theme for his birthday, or do you just know?
Well, we asked him what he wanted to do, and he said Mario. So
Nice.
luckily, they had a bunch of Mario stuff that we could get. So got all that stuff, and yeah, probably order our Jumpy Castle or whatever you want to call it tomorrow, and get that ready for Saturday. So it's gonna be a fun time. It's gonna have bunch of kids over, do some burgers and stuff, have some.
Yeah.
Yeah, have some beers for the adults because you
What
got
else do the adults do there?
Yeah, mingle.
Yeah, just
Mingle and
mingle,
drink some
man. Just
breezies.
mingle it up. Yeah.
So yeah, looking forward to that next weekend. But yeah, you want to jump into what we've been playing?
I do. I got a lot of stuff to talk about this week, Harrison.
Cool. Well, I'll start first because I have been. I'm kind of at that point where I get every once in a while with video games where I don't play a lot, just because I like, especially it usually happens around the summertime anyways, just because like I want to do stuff outside and all that good stuff. And this week I've been working on. I was working on a YouTube video. I put up my PC building experience video on YouTube.
Yeah,
And it took me a while.
that was a great video
because I edit on my Mac or my wife's Mac now. So I have to edit on there because I haven't found a great software for the PC yet that I want to use. So I edit on the Mac because I'm used to it. And I actually do like the kind of built-in software they have. So it's pretty easy to use. And then so I've been working on that all week. And then not a lot of gaming. I've just been playing Outriders. Still loving that game. It's one of those games where I feel like I'm getting towards the end, but also like I feel like I could also go on for like another 15 hours. So I have no idea where I'm at, but it's a lot of fun. It's pretty challenging. You and I still haven't played yet, but like I said before, I'm getting to that point where I will have to if I die on 1 or 2 encounters, I'll just crank it down to the previous world tier just so I can just kind of get through it and not get frustrated.
Are you still rocking about 5 or 6 for world tier?
7 is where I try to keep it at, just because that's the highest I've gotten right now. Okay. The only problem is when you drop it down to 5 or 6, like that encounter, you still level up as you normally would, but your world tier doesn't level up if you drop it down. So like I try to keep it on 7 as much as possible so I can just level that up. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I've gotten 2 or 3 legendary guns now. They're pretty unique too. Like one of them I mentioned can shoot like electricity. Like when you shoot it, like electricity comes down from the sky and does like an extra 2,000 worth of damage. So like I said last week, like just the combination of skills and guns and skills for your guns you could do is pretty awesome. So it's
skills, guns,
and guns for your skill. Wait, what? So yeah, loving that game. Like I said, I really want to hop into your world and help you get through it a little bit. Just to see how I want to see how that works. Like I know, and like if the enemies get stronger based on like my world tier versus your world tier, because I think you're probably on 3, maybe 3 or 4.
Whoa. I'm up to 5.
Oh,
okay.
5.
I think I'm like a soft 5. I'll go down to 4 if I need to, but
soft 5.
Yeah, nice. Like a soft 5.
So yeah, just kind of grinding through that. Probably play some more of that this week until nice. I want to jump back into Maneater, but like I'm also like I could also not.
I could go my whole life not playing that game again, but like if it kind of appeared on my screen.
They did update a couple of the EA Play titles, which specifically Titanfall 2, that I want to jump into and check out that frame rate. I really want to check that out because I've been wanting to deal with it. I wanted to play it for the last couple of weeks, but just haven't for whatever reason. But they did announce some good stuff coming to Game Pass. We got, it's not in our news, so I'll just go ahead and mention it now because Outriders is on Game Pass, but they got Destroy All Humans coming. That's
the remake. The remaster. Okay.
Yep. And then they've got what's the other one? The Second Extinction, right? That dinosaur kind of 3-player co-op game that's coming out. That it got announced. It got announced at like Microsoft's event last year, like right after COVID happened, like I think back in May.
Okay.
I think, or it was either that one or the one after that. But it was like it didn't look too great when I saw it. It just looked kind of generic. But
it's on Game Pass.
But it's on Game Pass, so I'll definitely check it out. But Nick, what have you been playing? Have you take a sip of your delicious wine?
My delicious wine, my Malbec. Yeah, we made steaks tonight for dinner, so
it pairs nicely.
Yeah, pairs great. The first game I played through, well, I guess it's more of an annual playthrough now, but I played through Resident Evil 7.
Nice.
And this was the first time I played through on the Xbox.
Okay.
I'd done the PS4 before. I was a little peeved because I played through it in 2 nights. The first night I stopped and turned it off. I don't remember if I paused the game or not, or if I just turned it off.
Yeah.
But when I turned it back on the next night, it said my playtime is at like 20 hours.
Weird. Okay.
So it must have been counting
Your
like,
pause time.
yeah, something like that. So like, well,
Weird.
shit, man. Like I kind of, not that I was trying to go under 4 hours, but I wanted to see how close I could get because I
Yeah.
wanted to try to play through it again. Um, yeah, that game's still really good. I still think the back half of that game is a little subpar, especially at the ship.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I mean, we talked about that before, but Resident Evil is one of those games that does struggle with that too. Like,
once you get too powerful, it kind of falls off a little bit, unfortunately.
and just like the latter half of a game, anyways, for those usually don't hold up.
Yeah.
Just like the level design or choice they have, like Resident Evil 3. Since I mean since that's the newest one, I didn't necessarily love like the science lab or whatever.
I never do with those games. I never loved the science lab.
Yeah, and then like in Resident Evil 4, what was the end of that? Like, did you love the castle stuff in RE4?
I liked the castle. I didn't like the island at the end.
The island,
and that
yeah.
kind of featured a lab of sorts. But
Yeah,
I think that last like chapter, I think it's like chapter 5 or 6. I think that's pretty mediocre for that game. The rest of it's like phenomenal.
Yeah.
And, you know, can't wait to play through that again on Oculus Quest. But that last
for sure.
chapter,
Can't wait.
the last chapter is kind of mediocre. And same for, I think Resident Evil 2 did it a little bit better, but it still ended in a lab.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, it still had a lab. I mean,
they always do. I mean, it's where it comes from, right? It always comes from like some sort of lab. So I mean,
I
guess you can't fault them for that, but
yeah.
I wonder if RE8 is going to have a lab at some point.
You're gonna find out that Lady Demiscu or whatever her name is, and the other 3 main villains are, I don't know, they're from a lab or something, and you're gonna find their documents or whatever.
Yeah,
I hope it doesn't end that way, but I'm sure it will.
Yeah, I'm sure at some point.
And I'm here for it. Like,
did it? I know it's been a while since you've played RE4 or RE7. How did it run on the? Because I know it's not technically optimized for it, right?
It's optimized for the 1X.
The 1X, okay. Did it run pretty good? I mean, it ran pretty good,
Yeah,
like on
man.
the base PS4 for me. So I imagine it runs pretty good on there.
It looked and ran better than I remember it running. So that's good. It ran like pretty perfectly for what I was expecting. Now, I also played through Not a Hero DLC.
Oh, okay, cool.
With Chris
Redfield. Is this the first time you've played it without VR, or have you played it non-VR on the PS4?
No, last year I played it PS4 non-VR. Last year in May, I think I played it non-VR.
Just that time, man.
Yeah,
time of the year.
Just that time. I really did like it in VR. I mean, there wasn't a lot of like interactivity with the game,
more immersive,
like you would expect. Yeah, it was just way more immersive. Obviously, the graphics didn't look as great as they do on, you know, just a non-VR PS4 or a Series X or something. But that it was just so immersive and pretty freaky. And like you can I could tell playing through the game this year that it was definitely built around VR, because they would do the thing that 3D movies do where they put the knife like in your face.
Yeah.
Or the bullet will come at you or something like that. There's a solid amount of that in Resident Evil 7. So you could definitely tell it was built around VR, which is awesome. I mean,
yeah,
it was really cool that they kind of took that chance.
Yeah,
I played through the DLC, Not a Hero as well. That took like an hour, and it was super short, very okay. Like I thought it was pretty mediocre, like 6 out of 10.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, it was a free DLC back then.
Mm-hmm.
I never did play. I don't know if I played the
other DLC.
Yeah, what was it called? Like
Zoe.
The End of Zoe. I don't think I played that one.
I bought the season pass.
Okay.
For like $11, so it has all
on sale.
The band footage. Yeah, it was on sale. So it has all the band footage. I think there are like 5 or 6 little shorter DLCs and a couple of modes, and then there's the End of Zoe, which features Jack,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the brother of I can't remember the guy's name. It's eluding me. But
Well, Jack is the main guy, right? He's the main antagonist.
oh,
Um,
well, it's his brother.
is it well Lucas? It's not Lucas, is it?
No, that's Jack's son.
Okay. I didn't know Jack had a brother. Okay.
Yeah, he has a pretty badass brother apparently, and I think in the entire DLC you're just using your fists
Oh wow.
and you're fighting people, and I think you like fight some alligators and stuff with your fists. So it's like a
What?
ridiculous DLC. Yeah, I'm pretty excited to play through it.
Yeah, let
I
me know
think
how it is, because I've never played that before.
yeah,
That's pretty cool.
I've heard good things. I heard people think it's like just like ridiculous Resident Evil shenanigans.
Is it like yeah, I guess. I mean, is it like zombie alligators, or is it just alligators? Like,
It might be just alligators, to be honest.
I guess they're a threat either way, if they're zombies or not.
Yeah, yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
Okay.
So did the whole Resident Evil 7 again. Pretty
Cool.
pumped for 8. And
Did Alicia watch you play Resident Evil 7?
she did. Yeah, she did she did last year and a little bit this year. She doesn't like that one. She thinks it's too gruesome.
Resident Evil 7?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it's pretty
she doesn't love first person games in general because she gets a little motion sick watching me play it, because she can't predict which movements I'm gonna make. She doesn't know if I'm gonna turn left or right. And like kind of veteran FPS players will move in kind of a janky way where they're just like
very
constantly
twitchy.
very twitchy. So I think that gives her motion sickness, like not being able to predict which way I'm gonna go.
Yeah, that's totally understandable.
Yeah. But hopefully she's excited about Resident Evil 8. I think that's going to be a fun one to sit through.
Yeah, this might be. Yeah, I'm thinking about streaming the whole thing. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
But yeah, Resident Evil 7, man, such a great game, and the fact that, and I was too, like, it was when that first got announced and that it changed perspectives. A lot of people were upset about it. You know, that Resident Evil was gonna be ruined and all this stuff. And I mean, I loved it. Like, I mean, up until that point, I mean, RE4 was definitely my favorite. I mean, I never really had the experience with 1, 2, and 3. So 4 is like my kind of really my first experience with Resident Evil, and I mean, obviously that game is a masterpiece, in its time. And then of course 5 I thought was
it's fun
fantastic.
at the time. Like,
I thought 5 was great. I mean, I thought the co-op was good. I mean, if you're playing single player, it kind of sucks because Shiba was kind of a bad AI, which they usually are in co-op games. So that's fine. But yeah, playing Resident Evil 5 was awesome. I think that's pretty underrated in my opinion. And then 6 was 6, and
oh god.
Yeah, and the fact that they kept it on with 7, and it was, I mean, it really had nothing to do with Resident Evil until the very end, where they tied it in with Chris. So yeah, glad to see 8 keeping along the same perspective.
Keeping the same story too.
Same story too, which is cool, because I mean, Ethan was he was an okay character, I guess. I mean, I didn't hate him or anything. So
yeah, I feel like they could there was just a lot more to flesh out, and I feel like that's what 8 is going to do. Hopefully.
Yeah. Cool deal.
Yeah.
What's been playing?
So after the announcement of Resident Evil 4 VR for the Oculus Quest 2, I got back into the VR world. I downloaded In Death Unchained, which have you ever heard of this game before?
I've not.
Okay. The best way to describe it is a first-person roguelite game where you have either a bow and arrow or a crossbow.
Okay.
And the world feels similar to like a Dark Souls kind of medieval dungeon of sorts. And you kind of just go as far as you can with your bow and arrow and your shield and your crossbow. And you're just, fighting enemies, getting upgrades, getting health from enemies when you kill them and they drop health. You get like different types of arrows that you can use on enemies, and then you get to a boss. And I haven't gotten past the first boss yet because it's pretty hard and you get pretty overwhelmed with enemies. But from what I can tell, I think I've played for like 2 or 3 hours so far. But each run you kind of unlock a little bit more. You unlock the ability to get stuff in your run, kind of like Dead Cells. Um, but it has made me want a VR Dark Souls so bad.
Okay.
And I think that would be like the perfect combination because, with Dark Souls, there are just a ton of environments that you can go through. You're facing these like large monsters, which I feel like would lend well to VR. You have a big arsenal of weapons that you could use, and maybe the arsenal could be a little bit smaller for Dark Souls VR, but even just doing like the first Dark Souls game or Demon Souls in VR would be just so cool. So if anyone is kind of wanting that in any capacity, I would recommend this game, because even though you just use a bow and arrow or a crossbow, it kind of still scratches that itch a little bit. And like, of course, it's a roguelite, so it doesn't have a true story to play through, but I've really enjoyed my time with it. And I can't get enough of these like first person shooters or first person sword fighting games or whatever in VR, because they just feel so cool.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'll probably maybe after Resident Evil is I've finished that, I'll probably pick up that Walking Dead game, The Saints and Sinner. Maybe it'll go on sale with that DLC that got announced.
Yeah. Speaking of Walking Dead, I played that a little bit this week too. And I've kind of been struggling with that game because I don't know if I should. Well, I guess the premise of this game is that you spend each day doing something. So you can either try to progress the story and try to do missions, or you can go into a town.
This is Walking Dead you're talking about?
Walking Dead, yeah. Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners on the Quest 2. You can either do missions, or you can go into a location each day and loot and try to get weapons. And I'm on like day 15 now, so I've done a handful of days, and I feel like I just don't have enough loot, and maybe I should be looting more or whatever. But like every time I come across a group of humans that I'm fighting against, I just get like completely rocked. Like, I don't have the firepower to kill them. Mostly because there are like 15 of them that I have to fight over a period of like 10 minutes. And
now, is this one of those games where you can like move around the humans? Like, do you have to fight the humans, or is it like, can you like sneak past them and move on?
You can sneak past them, but for this mission that I'm on, like this chapter or whatever, like it feels relatively impossible to sneak by them.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I've done something wrong up to this point, but I can't befriend them. And I think you should be able to befriend anybody in the game. So maybe I accidentally chose a faction earlier in the game. I don't really remember, but it's just tough. So I went back and looted this place, and I finally got like an assault rifle.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to use that and progress a little bit, but it's such a slow burn. Like I really don't feel like I'm making a ton of progress each time I play.
Okay.
Which, like, I'm at a point where I feel like I should like restart the game and play it a different way going through, but I don't know if that'd be beneficial. Please let me know in the comments or or whatever if you think I should do something else. But
yeah, what's some
I'm just
tips
having
for
trouble.
this game?
Yeah, I really need some tips, and I've been looking for walkthroughs, but there really aren't any walkthroughs online, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I might pick this up. I've been interested in it. It looks like it's one of the better like first person shooter games on Oculus. So
yeah, it's really fun. Like just kind of the arsenal of weapons you get is really awesome, and you really feel the weight of each weapon that you're holding, which is sweet. Yeah, it's awesome. And the last game I played on VR is Pistol Whip. I picked that one up today actually, but it's like a rhythm based game almost like Beat Saber, but you have guns and you're shooting people. You're on this kind of this line. You're automatically walking forwards,
Mhm.
and there's a song playing, so the level is like 2.5 minutes or 3 minutes or something like that. But you're supposed to shoot people on the beat, and enemies will pop up and shoot at you. So you have to dodge them and you have to duck and get out of the way, and you have to attack them or shoot them on the beat to get more points. So it's pretty fun. Like it's a good workout game, similar
Yeah.
to Beat Saber,
Nice.
depending on how you play it. So
Right.
I think you can get to a point where you're dual wielding weapons, but I'm just doing one. Just doing one at a time,
Doing one,
just get my
nice.
feet wet. But I played it right before this podcast and I got a little sweaty.
Got a little sweaty.
Yeah, that's a good sign.
Cool.
Yeah. And then lastly, jump back into Hades.
Okay.
I turned on God mode. So that means each time you die, you increase your attack power a little bit. It's kind of cheating in a way, but I do want to see the end of that game, so I want to get there eventually. And I
Yeah.
don't know if I'm skilled enough at this game to get there without it.
To make it.
Yeah. But
At
Hades
some,
is
at some
awesome.
point, yeah, if you want to see the ending, and they give
Yeah.
you the opportunity, do it, take it.
Yeah. Yeah, seeing this game win game of the year in the DICE Awards maybe want to jump back into it and finish it out.
Yeah, I've been interested and curious in this game, but I don't love like roguelikes that much. So like I'm just kind of hesitant on that.
Mhm.
So
It's tough. It's tough for
Yeah.
me to get into them, but the ones I like, I really, really like Slay the Spire.
Slay the
Yeah.
Spire, man. Slay the Spire.
All right, that is it for games I've been playing this week.
Cool. You want to jump into the news?
Yeah, but before we do, let's talk about some games coming out this week. We got Pokemon Snap coming out
Yes.
April 30th, so it's a Friday.
Yep, that's Friday.
And then I think Returnal for the PS5 is coming out on the same day.
Okay, cool.
Have you watched any gameplay videos of Returnal?
I've only seen what has been showed in like the presentations, the state of
Okay.
plays for Sony. It looks okay. I haven't seen anything else, like any sort of like any other gameplay videos that they may have released. I don't really know exactly what this game is, right? Like it's a roguelike, right? Like kind of.
It is, yeah.
So
You might not like it then. In that case.
yeah, I mean, but it's it's a third person shooter, so it's different. I guess it's different than like the 3D or the 2D stuff that usually roguelikes are. It's one of those games where it's like it's $70. I don't know how well this thing is going to do for Sony, it being an exclusive. So I don't know. I'm interested. I'm interested in seeing some reviews and checking it out. I mean, I don't have a PS5 anyway, so it doesn't really matter to me right now. But this may be, if it reviews well, maybe sometime next year, or when I get a PS5, or maybe when they do a revision of that ugly ass thing, I'll pick one up.
Hey man, come on.
Pop in the collars. But and maybe this game will be on sale by then, so maybe I'll check it out. So I'll keep an eye out on reviews. And like we mentioned at the top of the show, definitely going to keep an eye out on reviews for Pokemon Snap. I just want to see what this game reviews as, and if it's worth picking up for $60 and all that good stuff. So
yeah, I'm
very interested in.
point.
And it's also one of those games where it's like, I'll probably pick it up on Friday if it reviews really well, but I don't know if I'll play a ton of it, just because like I've got Kellen's birthday on Saturday, and then Sundays is like the podcast show, and so it's I don't know how much I'll play, but we'll see. I wish I had co-op too, but I guess it's one of those games where you can pass on the controller if you need to.
Yeah,
let's
it's
do
an
a
easy
run, quick run.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I'm looking forward to
ramping
Pokemon
up.
Snap.
Ramping up the games.
We're ramping up big time. I mean,
following week is Resident Evil, baby.
Dude, that's all I'm thinking about at this point. I've just been watching those demos.
I haven't seen, like, I know IGN has a bunch of IGN first stuff going on right now. Like they released all the when does this game come out, by the way?
May 7th.
May 7th. That's on a Friday. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Cool. Whew, can't
This
wait.
might be a midnight game for me. I don't know. I haven't had one since Last of Us Part 2,
Yeah.
but we'll see.
Yeah, I didn't play Last of Us Part 2 at midnight, I don't think.
You didn't?
I don't think so. I ended up playing it the next day.
Maybe I'll wake up
I've
early
been
and play it.
thinking about going back and playing that again.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't know why. I just kind of got that itch, just to kind of play
It's
that
a long
again.
game.
Yeah, it's super long. I imagine it won't be as long on the next playthrough, but
Right.
yeah, I've been kind of thinking about it, but yeah.
Oh man, that's a great game. Great game to go back to for sure. I mean,
Yeah. Plus they've done updates and stuff since then. I wonder if they're ever gonna do a multiplayer for that.
didn't they say they were?
They said they were, but
they
we haven't
alluded
heard
to it?
anything about it since. So
Yeah.
I'd be very curious. I didn't play much of like Uncharted's, like I think it's Factions was what it's called.
Yeah.
Multiplayer. Not Uncharted. Last of Us Part 1 or 1.
Oh.
They had some multiplayer in that. It was okay, but like Uncharted's multiplayer was fantastic. Like I love that multiplayer. Like specifically 2 was great. And then I played a lot of 4 too, as well. But yeah, I would be curious in playing that multiplayer. But
nice.
Yeah, Pokemon Snap. Can't wait for that. But yeah, let's talk about this Oculus Quest 2 event that happened.
Yeah. So what was this on? Like Wednesday or Thursday? This aired. I think it was Thursday.
Now was this the week prior, or was this last week?
It was last week.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was like 2 weeks ago. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So we got a better look at Resident Evil 4, and we learned that they didn't cut any content.
Yeah.
So it's all there. Like I'm wondering how some of the QuickTime events and that fight with is it Wesker, the knife fight that you have?
Yeah, I mean, I imagine it's just going to cut to like third person, right? It's just going to show the cutscene like they normally would have.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. But yeah, the improvements look great. I mean, they said it should run at 60 FPS, which is awesome. I mean, it's a 16-year-old game, so I'd imagine it's probably going to run pretty good on an Oculus Quest 2. But yeah, the stuff, yeah, like you said, not cutting any content is great. It's just all the first person stuff looks awesome. Like especially being able to like type on the typewriter is actually kind of cool.
So silly.
Yeah, so silly and gimmicky, but hey, at least it's there.
And they've been working on this for about 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
So I mean, it sounds like they've put in their full effort into this game. I mean, this could be the flagship Oculus Quest 2 game later this year.
Yeah, I mean, it could be the best Resident Evil 4. I did see it at video. I was watching recently, and like the Resident Evil 4 screen came up and had like the Wii edition on there, and I got like very nostalgic because like I love Resident Evil 4 on the Wii.
Yeah, I think that was the best version.
Yeah, one of the very few games where like I enjoy the motion controls for sure. So
yeah, cool. That's it. You don't hear that much from Harrison.
No, not at all.
Motion controls.
No, not at all.
We got a look, or I guess we got the reveal of Star Wars something Galaxy's Edge Episode 2. I'm assuming it's a follow-up to Episode 1.
Yeah, I don't really know what this is. Because isn't Star Wars Galaxy Edge? Isn't that like
it's not actually
Disney?
called Galaxy's Edge. It's what is it called?
Yeah, because like the Galaxy's Edge thing is from like Disney World or Land or whatever.
Yeah. Let me see. Like I got it right here.
Okay.
Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge Episode 2.
Oh, okay. Cool. What do you know what this is? I have no idea. I've heard of that before, but I've never seen anything.
It's a crossover VR game set in the world of Disney's in-park Galaxy's Edge planet of Batu.
Okay. Interesting.
So yeah. And then there's Star Wars Pinball VR.
Okay.
Cool. And sorry, man, I just don't care about pinball. Star Wars Pinball.
Yeah, I don't really care about Star Wars, and I really don't care about pinball. Although VR might be interesting.
Yeah. We gotta look at Lone Echo 2, which is a zero-G adventure game that's been expected for a while. And then I Expect You to Die too. It's like an escape room kind of game, like a spy puzzle game.
Okay.
And then I'm excited about this one, but Carve Snowboarding. So this is a VR snowboarding game coming out probably later this year, but it's from the makers of 1080 Snowboarding,
Okay.
which I don't know if I ever played it, but
Yeah.
any snowboarding game I'm all in for.
Yeah.
And then I think Walking Dead got some DLC announced, and then Pistol Whip got some DLC announced, and then there's After the Fall, which is from the makers of Arizona Sunshine, which was a pretty popular zombie game on the Quest 2 or the Quest. So, I mean, we didn't get a ton of stuff announced this event, mostly DLC, but there were a couple good things in there, mainly
Cool.
Carve Snowboarding and Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
I think they could have just like reserved the announcement of Resident Evil 4 VR to this event, but considering Resident Evil had its own event.
Yeah, that would have made it, maybe an impact.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I bet it was like almost maybe some marketing between Oculus and Capcom saying, hey, announce this here so people will come and watch the Oculus Quest event,
Yeah.
Just to check it out.
That's a good point.
So that's probably what that was. Cause yeah, that would have been a huge if they announced it there, but no one would have watched, right? They would have just saw the headline. So
I don't think I would have watched.
Yeah. So I think that was probably pretty smart on their part, if that's what it was for. So cool.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then next bit of news and shout out, or I guess plug, to gamingwiththebros.com. I wrote a little piece on this, but Cyberpunk sold 13 million copies in 2020 between the period of like December 11th through December 31st, and only 30,000 refunds were issued out of that 13 million copies. I mean, that's not a lot considering the amount of backlash that this game got, and like the fact that CD Projekt Red issued that statement kind of telling people how to get refunds even if they got physical copies. So only 30,000 refunds, like that's
now. Do we know if
1%.
this is this digital and physical copies or just digital?
It's both. It's physical and then some digital. I don't think this includes Microsoft Store or PlayStation Store refunds.
Okay.
I think those are separately counted.
Okay. So this is just stuff that was returned to retailers.
And then I guess Steam refunds.
Okay.
Steam and Epic Store, which I thought Steam would be a solid amount of refunds, but I mean, the game ran okay on computers, still or on PC.
Yeah.
But this, I mean, I really want to see the numbers.
Yeah, I'd imagine. I mean, if there's 30,000 for and that's including Steam, Epic, and then physical. I mean, I can't imagine that number is going to be significantly increased. If we include PlayStation and the Xbox Store. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it sucks when stuff gets refunded, and I mean, and obviously, it had every right to be because it was horrible when it launched. But it looks like it didn't really affect their overall numbers at the end of the day. So
no, I think the vocal minority was very vocal this time around, and maybe people are holding out for updates. They released that roadmap with updates, and the promise of a next gen version is out there. So
I think that's just the way of the world now with kind of video games. I mean, ever since early access kind of got launched, gamers are kind of used to paying money up front and then just kind of watching the game evolve over time. Obviously, this is a little bit different. This is supposed to be a completed game. And And it sucks because I mean, you know, developers have kind of gotten used to doing this way. They'll release these broken games and they'll have these huge day one patches or whatever it is. You know, so in a perfect world, you would hope that the game, once it goes gold and is getting pressed on disc, you hope it's done. But in the online world, I mean, you can, you know,
keep on updating
it and stuff like that. And I guess for the most part, most people are going to be online anyways. I just don't know if that world exists anymore for offline gamers.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there are. Don't get me wrong. I know there are people that play offline, but for the most part, I would say majority are online. You know, at least hooked up to the internet. Maybe not necessarily paying for, you know, Xbox Live Gold or whatever to play online, but they're at least hooked it up to the internet. So,
yeah, and
so-
and 73% of copies were sold digitally. So that's a pretty significant portion. I mean, COVID probably had a factor
I'm sure
in that to some degree, but you know, if you can buy a game digitally, you can update a game digitally.
Yeah.
So probably banking on that a little bit.
Yeah. So I mean, man,
I've kind of talked about this to death, but
yeah, it's hard. Like I would not want to be an employee at CD Projekt Red right now. I just
no.
There's just so much bad will right now with them, and you know, I know they're doing their best to get everything updated, but you know, they had, we mentioned before, they had the whole multiplayer thing planned out, and it looks like that may not happen now. And the fact that this game took 8 years to come out, and then it comes out like this, you know, they had all these plans. Like I'm sure they had DLC plans and expansions, and you know, you got to think about that as a company, and you know, just is this franchise, is this title worth salvaging, or should we just move on at some point and start working on other things? So yeah, it's definitely tough. And you know, we bought the game, and we both don't know if we'll go back at any point in time. Just because, like, I mean, we've mentioned this before, but just the world didn't grab me the way I thought it would.
Yeah, it's kind of boring.
Yeah, so I just don't know. You know, if this game eventually gets to a point where it's great and people are kind of raving on it and stuff, I'll check it out. But I have like zero interest. I'm more excited for the Witcher stuff that they've got working on, than anything. But even then, it's like at that point you're like, well, I'm sure a lot of people are going to be hesitant buying that, you know. And yeah, I know they're going to start going about their marketing different.
They're going to shorten their marketing periods.
Yeah,
their marketing pushes.
Yeah. So yeah, it sucks, but it looks like they didn't hurt them sales wise. So that's cool.
Yeah, they're doing all right. They're doing all right from a financial perspective, maybe not a social perspective, but
yeah.
Yeah, man. Cyberpunk. I mean, I think they're going to continue it as a franchise. I don't know if they're going to, like you said, I don't know if they're going to do DLC or anything. They might just go on to the next game or do the next gen version, and hopefully that build some goodwill. I mean, we might see like a No Man's Sky story or a Fallout 76 story with Cyberpunk, but this one hurt a lot more, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it was, you know, CD Projekt Red. I mean, they were, you know, the Witcher series was a great series, and but yeah, who knows? We'll see what happens. I completely missed this. I had no idea there was a presentation coming out for Monster Hunter, but do you know what they're going to be talking about?
They're going to be talking about Monster Hunter Stories 2 a little bit, which is coming out in July.
Okay.
And then Monster Hunter Rise has a free title update coming at the end of April.
Okay.
So I'm assuming they'll give more details on that. But from what we know right now, they're adding in a new monster. I think that monster appeared in a Monster Hunter World. It's called Chameleos, I think.
Okay.
It's a monster that can turn invisible. And then they're releasing an Apex Rathalos, which is just a stronger version of a monster that already exists.
Okay.
And then they have some more unannounced monsters coming. So I'm assuming they're going to detail those. And then they have another title update coming later this year that unlocks the level cap and then adds in some new story content. So I'm sure they'll detail those in some capacity as well. But
wonder if they'll announce like an optimized version for next gen for Monster Hunter World. That'd be pretty cool.
I think this one's just on
It's just
Rise,
on
Rise and
Rise.
Stories.
Okay.
Those two.
Okay. Gotcha.
That'd be cool though. I mean,
Yeah.
a free upgrade for World would be pretty awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it sold so well that
Yeah.
I imagine that they would, and that would get people kind of some buzz going again.
Mm-hmm.
For people that don't have a Switch, I guess. It'd be, oh, I heard Rise is really good. Let me pick up World or something and get that.
Yeah, I heard it
for the
got
time being.
Upgrade. Yeah.
So cool.
Cool.
Anything else news wise that you can think of that happened this week? Kind of a low key kind of week.
Yeah, low key week. I did think of a question that I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
If you could pick 3 franchises to continue on from this point in time, so all the other franchises would cease to continue. The games would still exist, but you could pick 3 franchises to keep on making games. What would those be?
So only 3 franchises can go on, and any other franchise has to stop.
Yep, you can only play the old games.
I mean, probably Zelda.
Yeah, that was one of mine.
Zelda. I definitely think Zelda. I mean, just the jump from to Breath of the Wild was such like an incredible jump. I don't know. It's hard to think. I mean, like I love the Resident Evil series, especially as of late. In the last 3 or 4 years, I would hate for that to die. Oh man, that's a tough one.
What about like Gears, Last of Us, Uncharted, Dark Souls? I think I would keep Dark Souls going, or just like the Souls.
Yeah, the Soulsborne kind of franchise stuff. Yeah, like I mean, Gears. Like, yeah, don't get me wrong, I love Gears, but like, I mean, how long can that story go on unless they just completely switch it to something different? Like the Zelda, like they're almost, they're pretty unrelated to the previous entries. I mean, I know there's an official timeline for these games, but they're almost, I mean, they kind of live in their own, universe or game or whatever it is. I don't know, man. That's so tough. And then I'm trying to think of like franchises that are ongoing or
that are on the up and up, like God of War,
or like games that haven't had the new games in years. Like Dead Space, that's holds such a nice place in my heart. I kind of love that franchise so much. But they don't make those games anymore.
So it's kind of already dead.
Yeah, it's kind of already dead now. I mean, I love Halo. Like Halo is such a great. I guess I just want to see how Infinite turns out, because like I don't know if Infinite's not good, then
you'd be okay with it dying.
Yeah, because it's like I don't know.
And Master Chief Collection is kind of perfect for multiplayer as it is, so you can just jump back in there.
Yeah, for sure. And Halo 5 multiplayer is great too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a tough question, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, and then like you got to think about Mario. Like Mario has such like all their 3D games have like had like a great jump and like great new mechanics and stuff. Like, I mean, I would love to see another Odyssey or something, an Odyssey 2 or something, that a new idea that they have with that. I don't know. It's so tough. What are yours?
I think I would do Zelda. Zelda for sure.
Yeah, Zelda's a lock.
Yeah, Zelda's a lock. Soulsborne, because I just love those games so much.
Yeah.
And then I would say Fire Emblem, but if that series ended today, there's a pretty big history of games you could go back to.
Yeah, definitely.
So shit. I'm trying to think of like of series that I want to see more of right now, and I'm thinking of God of War just because
Yeah,
of
that's the question is like, uh, a franchise that that's had 7 or 8 games that's great. It's like, are you okay with it dying or stopping
oh man.
and let it? But like Zelda, like obviously there's so many games that you can go back and play, but I don't want that franchise to end. I want
Yeah.
to see what's next. And then like God of War right now, like God of War, the new
I didn't like
one.
God of War before, but
I mean, I liked it, but it was just, it was just like a beat 'em up smack, like slasher game, whatever you want to call it. Like
hack
there
and
wasn't much
slash
to it.
kinda.
Yeah, hack and slash. There wasn't much to it. But like the new God of War, like the story is incredible, like the acting, just their one camera kind of like perspective is so cool.
Mhm.
Like it's like they just left it, like Santa Monica just did such a great job with that game. And yeah, I want to see that one go on for a couple of games after. Um, I don't know, man. I don't know if I could say.
Mine's definitely for me in Soulsborne. I don't necessarily know what my third one would be. I'm just trying to think of like game franchises I've played recently.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a tough question, and I asked it.
I don't know. Like I would probably say like Zelda, Mario, and then something else.
Zelda,
Like,
Mario, and something else.
yeah, Zelda. Like I just think Mario, like Odyssey, was just so incredible, and I would just love to see what else they can do with that. Or their ideas, their follow up to that.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, I'm gonna say Zelda, Soulsborne, and Resident Evil
yeah, I was thinking Resident Evil for me too. Just
because I want to see what 8 does and what 9 does. I mean, there's a
yeah,
lot of potential with that franchise,
yeah,
even 20 years later, 25 years later.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think Resident Evil is probably what I'm thinking too.
So it'd be Zelda, Mario, and Resident Evil.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Solid.
Solid.
I like it.
But yeah, let us know, and you can where can they tweet at us, Nate? Let us know what your 3 franchises that you would like to see continue on, but nothing else can. That's where the struggle lies.
Yeah, but you get to keep every game that's released so
Yeah,
far.
yeah.
So if you want to tweet us your responses, you can DM us or at us at Gaming WT Bros on Twitter. You could also email us at gamingwiththebros@yahoo.com, or you could submit a response to our website at gamingwiththebros.com.
Yeah, go check out the website. Nick's done a lot of quite a few like really nice pieces, and they've been
Yeah.
pretty different. So check those out. That he's done a good job with that.
Thanks,
And
man.
yeah, and check out my YouTube channel. It's at Atomic Reptar. I don't have an official. It's not YouTube like slash. Just Google or just search it on there, and you should find it. I just recently did a video of me, kind of my thoughts and my struggles with my PC build that I did this year. So I'm pretty proud of that video. So check that
That
out
was a
if you
great
can.
video.
Yeah, I liked my I showed Brittany like my transition or whatever. She's like, oh, that's cool.
That's
At the very
fantastic.
beginning. So yeah, definitely check that out. Check that video. That would be much appreciated.
Mhm.
And yeah, we will see you guys next week. We'll probably have some thoughts on Pokemon Snap. I don't, like I said, I don't know how much I'll be playing it with my son's birthday being this weekend, but
Mhm.
I'll probably play a little bit of it, just so I can have something to talk about for the show.
Yeah.
If I pick it up, of course, we'll see how the
Yeah,
reviews.
big caveat.
Yeah. If the reviews are just terrible and it's a bad game, then I'll probably pass for $60. But
What's your threshold? Do you have a objective number threshold?
7, maybe 7.
If it's above a 7, you'll pick it up.
Yeah, 7 or above. I mean,
Ooh,
and
okay.
I'll check out the video too, like reviews and stuff.
Mhm.
Because like the big thing is just like replayability. Because like the first Pokemon Snap, you could beat in an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So it's
And yeah.
really short. So yeah, it's got to have some some solid replayability stuff. And I guess at some point they could always add more stuff. Because I doubt all 800 Pokemon, 700 Pokemon are in the game. That would be kind of insane.
Yeah, I don't think
So
they are.
we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, looking
Pumped.
forward to that. Hopefully that reviews pretty well. So
Yeah, hopefully.
but yeah, we'll see you guys next week here over on, if you watch live, twitch.tv/gaming with the Broscast. And yeah, check out the show audio as well. And we'll see you next week.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.